Hello, Susan. Wow, this volume's kind of loud. Hi, Max. Oh. Oops. Hey, Chris. I'm painting some stables in the neighborhood. studio. Sorry. Welcome. Alright. Today's painting is coming together kind of quick. I think. Yesterday's painting took a lot longer than I thought it would. I'm glad this one's going a little bit faster. Susan says, when you're doing studies of photos, do you exaggerate some of the colors on purpose? Yeah, I like to add in colors. Actually, this is kind of a silly trick that I learned at work, but if you get your regular photos, you can put some color processing on the photo itself before you start painting, and that might help you to get the colors you want. So you kind of like play with the colors. You can use Photoshop, or I just use Google Photos and the built-in like color editing tools, and try to get something a little more fun before I start painting, because I have no imagination and I'm really bad at making up colors, so I like to have something that's like kind of close. But in this photo, maybe, yeah, down here the blue on the ground I think is really cool, so that's I think it works better if that blue is stronger there. There's also a lot of blue in like this bush on the right. I'm trying to get that in there too. And then also lately I've been trying to pay a lot of attention to the sky, and specifically what the gradient is from the top to the bottom. So to me it's usually pretty subtle, but to me it looks like yellow, and then up here's pink, and then here's green, and then here's blue. So it's sort of like a rainbow style thing happening in the sky, even though it's less intense. But and I try to paint in like strips of each of those colors. Yeah, so yeah, maybe we'll get some blue and put it on the top of the bushes. Basically anything that's facing up will probably get more blue from the sky. And then the other thing that I have been trying out is to start off really small, like this size. Actually, the less details you can see, the better when you start your painting. And the bigger the brush, the better also. And then another thing to try if you find yourself getting stuck in details when you start a painting. So the first thing is make it really small when you start, and then also you can put a timer like 5 minutes and just see what you can get done in 5 minutes. We're not saying that the whole painting is going to take 5 minutes. We're just saying, you know, let's break the painting into little sections. So we're going to do one 5-minute section here and try to just do as much as we can in 5 minutes. Hi Elise, how do you typically use the mixer tool? Well, if you're working on the sky, for example, you could draw in strips of your colors. So here, I'll do this on a new layer, or actually I could probably do it here. So let's say you draw in 4 strips of color. You have this like purplish, then you have a greenish strip, and then a pinkish, and then a yellowish. So then you get your mixer thing, and then you just blend between those two, and then blend between those two, and then blend between those two. So the way this mix thing works is it grabs the first and the last point on your line, and it blends between those two colors, right? So it doesn't matter what two colors. It doesn't matter what colors are in between. It only takes the beginning and the end color. Or it's also good for if you need to soften up an edge real quick. So you can use this instead of like a smudge or a blur. You just blend the edge out like that, or blend this edge out like this, if that's what you're looking for. So yeah, you can think of it like a substitution for smudge. It's usually cleaner than a smudge. Ubiquitous says, what tips do you give to absolute beginners starting out in heavy paint? Well, just those things I just said. You make the thing really small, make it into a thumbnail. Because the thing that we are fighting against the most as a beginner or as any kind of painter, I think, is there's too much information. Real life has so much stuff throwing at our eyes, and our eyes are just soaking it all up. We get, what is it, like a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So our visual senses are super detailed compared to everything else. So you have to, I guess, limit it. It's too much. We have to limit it. So to limit it, we're making it really small, and we are using a big chunky brush, and we are trying to ignore as much information as possible while still getting like the overall feeling. And I think that's how you will probably find more success as a beginner, or even as a advanced painter too. Like if you look at your favorite painters, they're masters at reducing stuff down to something more simple or more manageable. Okay, I ran out of my 5 minutes, but I put in this little horse area, stable, I guess. And then the other really tough thing, at least for me when I was starting painting, is being able to see the colors and make the colors. And the real trick to that, to learning how to make colors like how you want them, is you have to avoid using the eyedropper. This tool right here is the devil for anybody who's learning color. So just turn that tool off. Actually, HEAVYPAINT has a mode that turns this off, because every time you use this, you're skipping the chance to make a new color, right? So let's say I want to make this light sky color. I would have to go over here and manually mix it with my three, my red, green, and blue. And you see how like I kind of get something close by already, and then okay, so it needs to be a little bit lighter. I'll just go a little bit up. Or maybe it's a little bit more reddish. So this is good. Like you need to practice doing that, where you put down a color as close as you can, and then you sort of adjust it a little bit and see, does it need more red, does it need more green, does it need less blue, blah blah blah. And if you do this eyedropper thing, you're robbing yourself of that opportunity every time. So honestly, we should just go here. In HEAVYPAINT you can go hardcore mode, and that just turns off the eyedropper completely. So now we're really having to mix every single color, and it becomes a lot more challenging, but also this is the only way you're going to learn how to mix colors, is by doing it a lot over and over and over. So just turn off your eyedropper, and now we can actually paint. What layer am I on? I guess I can't see layers in hardcore mode. I'm on this layer, okay. The other thing that we do as beginners a lot is we tend to have in our minds, we think that making colors is about being really expressive and like, really sliding these sliders around a lot and making a really dramatic color, and being super creative and expressive with your colors, right? So we're just sliding these around all over the place and making all sorts of really wild, crazy colors. But the trick is you can do that, but also you have to be mindful if you are trying to group colors too, you have to be really sensitive. Like even just a tiny little bump of the value is very noticeable. So it's usually, I think, less than what you imagine is. Well, I don't know. It depends on your personality too. Some people tend to like under judge colors, and some people over judge it. But for me, what I always was over doing it with my color, with my value changes, and then when I finally realized that, and I started to tone it down a little bit and like be more gentle with the colors, I think things started to work out better for me. And actually Devin was talking about this a lot the other day too, but you know, it's okay to you jump a lot between different groups, I guess. So like you jump a big amount from the sky to this orange area, but once you're inside that orange area, you're very limited in how far you can jump. Otherwise it looks like otherwise it looks like the color's jumping off of the orange thing, you know? Like if we go too far, this looks like it's jumping off, right? It's like a completely different material. But we can save that big jump for this other thing back here. That looks like a different material. So we can put that in with that color, maybe. I don't know. I'm not doing a good job of explaining myself. But so, okay. I guess big value jumps are okay between the different materials, like between this bush to the ground to the sky. Those are all big jumps. But once you're inside that material, you have to stay very close. Like the difference between this color right here and this color right here. Look at the bars up here when I drop. See, it's pretty close. Just a little bit more blue. Or like from here to here. This is the value range. From the sky, this is the value range. So they're all like within this much of the bar range of each other. So you can kind of do like that. What would you say? Maybe it's like 20% within each other, within each group. And then sometimes you run into situations where the groups are really close to each other, like this mountain group back here, and then this foreground, this midground area over here. Let me see. So these two groups, the really background mountain and then this midground mountain, those are two distinct groups, but they're pretty close together. And that's where you get to sort of use your judgment as an artist, where you can say, you know what, I'm gonna treat this edge as you can treat it like a sharp edge, or you can maybe blend it and make it soft, like so it disappears, or you can snap them together so it just becomes one whole value, or I don't know, you can play around with this kind of stuff. I guess that's the fun part. Once you get there, is like you can sort of play with what you want to throw away and what you want to keep in terms of information. Okay, I think I'm zooming in too much here. You kind of have to earn the ability to zoom in. And the way you earn it is by first doing all you can do at this size. Like once you're completely satisfied with this size, then you can start zooming in. Otherwise, you haven't earned it yet, you know? Okay, this green is way more orange than I thought it was. Hey Barry, how do I get the 25% off? Just use the link in the description. Finally buying the software after using the free version for so long. Yay. Thanks, Barry. When do we expect to have layers version? When it's ready. I'm working on it now, so should be. I mean, I said a few months ago. I said it would be ready in a few months, and now it's. Now I will say it again. It's going to be ready in a few months. How do you assign colors to values so accurately? You have to just do it a lot, Elise. You have to turn off the eyedropper tool and mix your colors as every single color. Like, try to do an entire painting with no eyedropper at all, where every single color is hand picked by you, and you'll improve your color a lot faster that way. How do we find gray color in this setup? I was using the old version. Gray color, you put your 3 colors at the same distance, you see? And then it's gray. So here's another trick with RGB sliders is, if you want, let's say we have a kind of a orangey color like this, right? And let's say we want to make a more gray, a less saturated version, like these, you know, maybe these desaturated mountains in the back. What you can do is, if you see how these three are like very far apart from each other, if we start to squish them and make them closer towards the center, now you see how it becomes more gray. And if we do that again, squish it, make it closer, now it becomes more gray, and then all the way it's full gray, right? So that's how you deal with saturation. Farther apart, more saturated, and more squished together, less saturated. The other fun thing about gray, guys, is gray is really dependent on what's around it also. So if you have orange again, or a reddish color, and when we start going, let's say we want to add a cool gray, even things that are still slightly warm will look possibly cool next to this orange, next to the red, just because it's next to red. So you don't necessarily have to go into blue to make a cool gray, depending on what the gray is next to. So if we have a gray next to something that's really blue, and let me try to get it to be really gray. So now this gray looks so warm, right? And the same gray over here looks sort of cool a little bit. Here, let me make this more red. Right? Same gray, looks kind of different depending on the situation. So sometimes gray, making it cool is just removing red. Like, you don't even have to touch the other sliders. Just reducing the red will make things cooler. Be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom. Okay. What are we? Oh yeah, the trees. Let's try doing the trees. So let's see, this tree, what is it doing? It's going from red at the top, darker red at the top, to lighter yellow at the bottom gradient. That. Okay, and then at the top, what is it? More red, less yellow. Whoa, maybe that's too much. Maybe at the very top we can go red. I don't know, does that jump off too much? Oops. Oh yeah, another important thing for anybody who's starting off is do not use blur or smudge or anything like that. I think you'll have a much better time if you just mix all your colors and paint your gradients in manually. So the smudge and the blur will kind of ruin your paintings. Especially if you use it too early on in the stage of the painting. I think like it's always pays to have like a nice stronger foundation in there first. Okay, I have to figure out how to do these little bushy, maybe feel lasso. To me, these all look like sort of half moon shapes. I think I like the more scruffy version, like this stuff fits better with the style that we have already. Okay, so that's the basic color of everything, I guess, and then the other main color is this yellowish, but still pretty close. Remember, like maybe 20% is the max that we should stray away from the original. How's the Gumroad promo? It's going. We're still working on it. Yeah, we need to do another work stream sometime. But I'm working on a city painting right now, like bird's eye view of Google Street Maps thing, and it's taking forever, but I think it'll be cool. I'm gonna try to crank up the color jitter on this part here, because to me, I think this area looks really noisy. There's a lot of weird vibration happening. Okay, and then the mountains back here, there's some, I like these little noisy white buildings. Or they're not really white, they're more like bright yellow. But that is pretty cool. Is there a shortcut for rotation? No. This is just do here, drag on the knob. And they look like carrots, right? Favorite brush is definitely, past couple days I've been playing with repeat. So circles, fiber, pills, like all of these are repeat type brushes, which this is kind of like what you would see in most painting apps, have a repeat as their main tool style. Like this kind of a thing. But I've been having fun with repeat plus making the texture really scaled down, and that looks pretty cool. Oh, I like this one actually. And then also I was playing with distance, but on this one I'm just using pressure for size. Oh, I like that. Yeah, the nice thing about this is you can take the same texture, like let's say this charcoal texture, and you can get lots of really different looks out of it just by changing the scale of the texture. So this is like on a high repeat, and we can bring it down really low, and then it looks more like this. And then stretch also. Let me bring it back to scale of 1 and stretch of 1 and see what that looks like. So this is like the standard version here, which is actually not bad. And then we get the stretch and bring it down to 1.1, stretches out the texture. Love when you show your favorite, you end up making new ones. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, you guys can play around with this. I haven't really actually messed with the tool settings that much, but like I never even used scatter. Let's see what that does. Let's put scatter super high. Wait, why isn't scatter working? Well, maybe that's why I'm not using scatter, because it's broken right now. Wait, scatter. What the hell? It was working at one point. Let's see, what about size jitter? Does this work? Maybe it's because we are on pressure that this doesn't work. Yeah, there we go. So now we have some size jitter. What brush is this? Huh. See, like most of these combinations I've never seen, because I actually don't play with it that much. But let's say we wanted to save this painting and use it as a texture. Let's try it. Save. Stable. Stable. Okay. Alright. So now we can import this as... I'm using this little plus button here to import a new thing. Let's see. Riverside Stable should work. Okay, and now it's there as a texture. Let's see how this looks. Okay, put it to 1, put it to 1. There it is. Is that it? Texture saturation all the way up. There we go. And use my painting to paint my painting. Whoa. Anyway, that's pretty useless. I'm going to turn the saturation down. Never mind. Oh, that's kind of cool though. The giant orange. I sort of like that, even though it doesn't fit with anything else. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. This is stupid. I like it. Maybe if we shave off the top a little bit, give it a haircut. Is that better? Yeah, a little haircut. Where's the eraser? What the hell? Where'd my eraser go? Oh, there it is. I'm gonna put the eraser on fill so I can maybe do some of these. Did I ruin the charm of the cube? Let's go back to the cube and see if it's better. You know what? I think the cube is better. I'm gonna leave the cube. I think, if anything, if I leave this as a cube, this will be the only thing that people remember or comment about the painting. Is like, oh, cube tree. And I'm okay with that. I think that would be a good thing, a nice, like, interesting thing about this painting. Probably the more I touch this tree, the worse it's gonna get. That's what I noticed. So let's just leave it alone. But I can't help myself. I keep going in and wanting to make it less of a cube, but I just have to accept that this is a cube tree and move on. Maybe it only has cube shadows. No, that's stupid. Whatever. I think with this tree, I want to go a little bit more blue towards the top. tomorrow. It's a heavy party. I mean, yeah, a very sleepy party maybe. uh, Hello, rudely poodly doodly. Wait, did you add doodly at the end of your name? Peter, I am working on heavy paint full time now, yeah. Except for the gumroad thing, but most of my time is heavy paint. Oh man, I never noticed the doodly. I feel like your name is slightly different on every platform. Should these other ones also be cubes? Eh. I don't know about this. I like the lemon slice shape. I have no idea what. Wait. Like this. I'm not totally happy with these ones. They definitely need to be a little chunkier on this part right here. Whoa. Okay. Let's say we have 5 more minutes on this. What can we do? What's the best way we could spend 5 minutes on this painting? I don't think I'm going to add all these extra fences in because I'm too lazy and it's going to be too messy, I think. But maybe these fences on the in the background of the where the horses are, and maybe a little bit extra detail where the horse in this area. I feel like it needs some small scale stuff in that central area just to like suck you into the middle of the painting a little bit. Do the box. There's no way I'm making those stairs, man. That would ruin me. That's too hard. You can do it in your painting. I'm scared. It's gonna be too. It's gonna ruin it. It is a cool box though. I guess those are horse stairs, so you can climb onto your horse easier. I purchased the app on my iPad. When I downloaded my iPhone, it requested money again. It shouldn't, because it has family share turned on, so you should be able to use it on all your devices anyway, as long as they're iOS. There should also be a button called Restore Purchases on iOS, so that should just like restore it for you on the phone. And then to save files, you go to the top right. You'll see this little menu that looks like this. You click on that and then there should be a save button, and then you can save it like that. Okay, what am I doing again? Oh yeah, this stuff over here. It's a little bit darker orange also down here. Never mind, I think I'm okay with it being brighter. I don't want to clean up all those edges right now. I should have done that earlier. But I can try to get this stuff. I think that's cool. It's all red, and it goes yellow. Looks like some kind of reflection or some super hot I'm doing this stuff all out of order, and I'm paying the price. It's all backwards. What happened to the music? I'll just replay it. Come on. There we go. So I'm leaving the left side, like behind the fence, is a tiny bit lighter than the right side, because if we look at the photo, it has this like gray hatching on it. So if we squint, it just sort of looks like a lighter gray version of that color, right? And I'm too lazy to put in the... Am I too lazy? Maybe I'm not too lazy. I can just use rake to do it. No, that looks kind of weird, doesn't it? No, because in the photo it becomes sort of invisible. I don't want to ruin that, so I'm gonna just leave it off. I'm trying to be an artist here. Trying to be an artist here. I'm also trying to be lazy. Alright, I will attempt the lines, but no promises. It might look worse with the lines, I'm not sure. I already don't like the color of the lines. I think they need to be lighter, if anything. Try to go up a little bit. Yeah, maybe like that. I don't know about that. I don't know. I think I need to redo these lines or do something. I don't like them. Actually, I like that. Just little dots, so they don't look so solid. They're almost invisible, basically. Yeah, like Seurat. There we go. Any tips on doing studies like this? Christian, so yeah, I've been actually talking about this earlier in the stream, but make this small, like thumbnail size, when you're in the beginning of the painting, and then use a big brush, small thumbnail, and group your colors together. I guess those are the three big things when you start. Hello, Benjamin. Thank you. How is LA right now? It's good. I mean, we are not out and about yet, but it's okay. I think the vaccines will be open to everybody pretty soon. Actually, I heard that they want to open everything in June, I think. I don't know. I'm not keeping up too closely. Okay. Let's see, maybe we can try a tiny bit of texture in the foreground and see how it looks. I mean, maybe it'll be worse. I don't know. I'm just gonna try it. Actually, I think for this foreground stuff, I'm going to try to turn off rotation so everything can be sort of aligned. Yeah. I have to be really careful not to ruin what's already here, because I really like what's going on. This is fine. I don't think I'm going to mess with it. I like the chunkiness. Okay. I think that's it. Hey, Julian. How are you? You came in right as we were wrapping up. Looking forward to this coming on iPad as I stop using PC and Mac. Huh. Okay. Well, it will be soon. Don't worry. It's coming. Just a couple little things I gotta iron out, but feels like it's close. Just, guys, if you have a lot of really good, precious paintings on your iPad with HEAVYPAINT, please export them and save them to a desktop computer. I'm gonna repeat this because yeah, PSA, it when the new version comes out, no guarantee that your old files will be safe. So just export all your precious good stuff to your desktop from the iPad. Yes, rudely poodly, soon TM. Soon is the word I've been using for the past, I don't know, 4 months. Since I started working on HEAVYPAINT, the word has been soon. Okay. Just clean this up a little bit. When are we getting a beautiful heavy paint icon instead of the Godot engine thing? I don't know, man. On my computer, it shows HP logo. I'm gonna prove it to you. Oh, come on. See? On mine, it has a little HP logo. I don't know why it doesn't show up. Alright, what platform are you on, Mars? Or, wait, Shuffin, sorry. Do you edit the picture? Yeah, I did edit. Let me show you guys how I edit it. It's pretty simple. It's just Google Photos. So Google Photos. Let's see if I can. So all my phone pictures, they get uploaded to Google Photos, and then I go in here and I say, if I hold down and click, this is the original colors. I just increase the saturation a little bit. There, those are my settings. No big deal. But if you take pictures with your phone and your phone has like a manual setting, I usually get a lot better photos with the manual setting if you can control the whatchamacallit, the exposure time, and usually that will make it so that either the darks are really squished or the lights are really squished when you take a photo with make sure HDR mode is off and you have a manual exposure, and then you'll get like compressed values automatically. And then just I like to add a little bit more color saturation. Alright guys, this was a fun one. I hope you like the cube palm tree. Alright, see you guys next time. Bye bye.